Good morning. Welcome to our Become the CEO of Your Business and Life workshop, where we are offering free laser coaching today, free business laser coaching, and free content today to elevate your business in 2022. My name is Paula Cook, and I am the COO of Jen Gaudet Coaching Services. And we have with us today as well from our team, Lindsay Steinhilber, who is our health and life coach. And we have our CEO today with us from Jen Gaudet Coaching Services, and we will be introducing her in just a moment, a little more about Jen. So today in our free workshop, we are excited to have you all here with us today. And we are going to dive into some really phenomenal content on the levels of being an entrepreneur. What type of entrepreneur are you? And that is what we're going to figure out today. We're also going to figure out and discuss some wonderful things about our business and how to evaluate our business and figure out what we need to do to grow and maximize our business for 2022. So welcome. Some housekeeping rules are we would ask that you have your camera on the entire session because we are going to laser coach, and laser coaching will be for those who have their camera on. Number two, during the content, which we'll start out with in just a moment, we ask that you keep your mic on mute. And then after the content, we will go into laser coaching. Now, a little bit about laser coaching. Our CEO, which is on the screen today, is going to provide laser coaching to each of you. During the laser coaching, we ask that when you're asked a question like, how much money do you have budgeted for marketing? We ask that when we ask a question like that you give us the honest answer, because the strategy that you're going to receive is going to be based on that answer. So if you tell us that you have $10,000 for marketing, we're going to give you a $10,000 strategy. But if you truly only have $1,000 for marketing and 1,000 of that dollars is really not for marketing, 500 of it is only for marketing, then you're going to get the wrong strategy. And that's not going to help you grow or your business. In addition, we have a bullshit. Yes, I said it. We have a BS meter. Our CEO is the queen of BS. So be ready if you are getting laser coached and she's asking you questions about your business or what's stopping you and getting you stuck, that if you don't be authentic and honest with yourself, she's going to call BS on that. And we're going to rewind the tape and try it again. So our coach is very direct, but she's direct because she is passionate about you taking your business to the next level. And we don't want to waste your time. So we are very direct and honest and open when it comes to laser coaching. So now that all the ground rules are set and everybody knows how this is going to go today, we're ready to dive into our content for today, which we're super excited about. And our CEO is going to bring the hammer, bring the content today. And it is about what type of entrepreneur are you, and evaluating your business and your numbers and all the things and anything else that she chooses to put in there. So without further ado, I bring to you Jen Gaudet, our CEO, who is a multi-entrepreneur, has 7 businesses. Some of them are 7 figures, 6 figures. She is rocking and rolling, and she is a success and has the strategies for us to level our business up today. So Jen, come on down.
Welcome. I'm super happy to see you ladies on here today. Thank you for the intro, Paula. And today we're going to talk about how are we going to set our business up to grow 6, 7, 8 figures in 2022. It is a perfect time for that. And we have to start by looking at what happened in 2021 and doing a self-assessment first so that we know where are we today, where are we starting. And my request is, I'm going to run through some questions and some content. Feel free to take notes. I recommend you take notes. Be very honest with yourself when you look in the mirror, because I'm going to be frank. A lot of times we are blind to what we're actually doing, and we lie to ourselves. And when it comes to laser coaching, if it's not working, like if you're lying to yourself, it will come through, and I'd rather it not be quite as a surprise. So as we move through the stages of business and what did you do in 2021, be very, very honest with yourself so that we can have the right strategy moving forward. So 2021, some of us talked about a lot of things, did a lot of things, maybe didn't do all the things we talked about and said we were going to do, and we had a measure of success. Some of us were able to scale our business. Some of us grew. Some of us had a revenue goal and a profit goal, and we blew it away. I mean, went over and above and met and exceeded every one of our goals. Okay. Some of us set the goals, made some of them. Maybe we made our revenue goal, but we didn't quite meet our profit margin goal or something else. We need to know what goals we set, what we were successful with, and what are we bringing into 2022. We also need to look in the mirror and say, what didn't I do well? Or what did I do that didn't work so well? So I can either tweak it, improve it, and go forward, or delete it from what I'm going to do because it's not working for me. Like, it doesn't make any sense. If we look at all of our avenues for marketing, for example, and I marketed in 7 different places, and 4 of them, the cost per acquisition per client was maybe $147. I'm making this up. And the cost for one of them was $2,000 per client. And the cost for another was, $4,000 per client. Does it make any sense to continue marketing in that high cost per acquisition? Absolutely not. Especially if we've got 4 things that the cost per acquisition, and I'm not talking about cost per lead, I'm talking about acquisition, client who signed, who brought revenue into the business. Those are the places that I'm going to continue to market because these others are very expensive. And this is working, and we're looking at how am I going to improve my profits. And so I'm going to pour more into those venues, right? Does this make sense? Because when we look at our goals for 2022, everybody has I'm going to double my revenue. I'm going to triple my revenue. I'm going to have, $1 million or $10 million in profit this year. Whatever your goal is, there's 5 ways that we can improve our profit margin. Because I'm going to tell you that if your profit margin is 0 and you brought in $100,000, but your profit margin was 0, you ended up with 0. If you double your revenue and bring in $200,000, guess what? If your profit margin is 0, you're still making 0. So you're doing a whole heck of a lot of work for nothing. Same thing as if your profit margin is 8% or 12%. If you double the work for only 8 or 12%, whereas you could improve your margins, you could do the same work and make more money. So we want to optimize first before we add. So what I want to ask each of you to do is think about your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, then that's a whole other conversation. And we definitely need to talk about your numbers when we get to laser coaching. But think about your profit margin. If you had a healthy profit margin, and I mean net, after everything, taxes, everything is done, net, and your profit margin was less than 10%, you have a profit problem. If your net was in the 20 to 35% range, you have a healthy profit margin in your business. Okay. Most industries fall into that. If you're service-based only, you're going to look at a healthy profit margin as like 15 to 25% is in service-based businesses with employees. So think about where your business was and were you happy with your profit margin? Think about what you did last year. Some of us had business growth and increased revenue, but we spent more time talking about doing things than actually doing things. That's like a entrepreneur, right? Even though we may have a business that's generating revenue, we're not taking home the profit margins that we wanted or that we expected. We spent a lot of time talking about things, talking about making it faster, more effective, more efficient, and we didn't spend any time doing things. So if you are like, yeah, that might be me, then we're going to call that level 1 entrepreneur. And so your biggest, most important thing is to take more action. And it's to take more action in the things that are going to improve your profit margin. Okay? Because we want to optimize our profit margins first. The 5 ways to optimize our profit margin are very simple. We increase our leads, marketing. We increase our sales conversions, right? We increase our cost, like our take home, our cost per service or product line. Our prices. We increase our lifetime value of our clients, which is about retention. It's really about retention, closing gaps, and offering more services. And the 5th one, that's a real important one that every time we grow our business, we have to really look at, and that's streamlining our expenses. So if we make $100,000, I'm going to use really easy numbers. If I make $100,000 this month, okay, yet I only take home 5,000, that's a 5% profit. If I double the amount of business, I'm doing a whole heck of a lot of work for $200,000 of revenue to only make $10,000. So it makes very much sense for me to look at what am I doing that can trim my expenses first, because for that $100,000, if I could trim my expenses to where my profit is now 20,000 on that 100, guess what? I've done no extra work, needed no extra leads, not had to spend a penny, and I'm taking home more money. Does this make sense? I mean, it's real basic concept. So we want to always, when we're thinking about growing, and I'm saying this from the get-go because everybody wants to scale and grow their business every single year. We set these big goals. But the first thing we have to do is we have to cut, then grow. Cut the expenses that are not working. Cut the products that are not giving, or services that are not working and adding revenue. Cut the expenses that maybe we were needing these systems before, but we're no longer using them or they've become redundant. That happens a lot. We want to cut our expenses. So today, the first step towards scaling for 2022, and write this down, is where can I cut my expenses in my business? I'm going to look at my marketing. I'm going to look at not just my cost per lead. I'm going to ask, what are the quality of leads I'm getting from my marketing? Because I'm getting 100 leads from one Facebook ad per day, but only one of them is a quality lead. Yet I'm getting 10 leads from LinkedIn marketing, and I'm getting 8 quality leads there for the same cost per lead, because they're about the same cost per lead. Then where am I going to devote my attention? I'm going to pour it to LinkedIn. Why am I marketing on Facebook? Does this make sense? So it requires us to take a look at what we have, what we did in 2021, what were our costs per lead, but what was the cost per client acquisition? Because you may only be acquiring 3 out of every 100 leads might become a client, because maybe some of them are junk leads. Maybe some of them are not even right audience, because that happens when you do social media marketing, for example. But ask yourself, quality of lead, cost per acquisition, and look at that for each area that you're marketing. And don't just look at it, the dollars. We always think about marketing as how I'm spending on ads, but it's also how am I spending my time? What networking groups am I in? How many hours am I putting into that? I'm going to use an example. I'm in a networking group. It's like $800 a year to be a part of that group. And then there's dues on top of that. So once I look at the chapter dues and the national dues and everything, I'm basically spending $1,500 a year, which is not a lot. It's not a lot of money. However, I am required to spend 90 minutes every week in a meeting. So really, what is the cost? Well, what is the cost for my time? So if you take every month, all the monies that you made last year, like take every dollar that came in last year, all your revenues, and divide it by 2080. That'll give you your worth per hour. What is your time worth? And then you add that up, and I have to do that 52, well, it's not 52, really it's 48. It's 48 weeks that I'm in because of things. So I have to multiply that by an hour and a half times 48 and add that to the dues, because that's my time. And then I ask myself, did I have an ROI? What business came from that group in particular? What was the dollar amount? And was it worth my time and the monetary spend? Okay. And you're probably like, wow, there's a lot of numbers. I don't want to think about numbers, but I'm going to tell you that numbers don't lie. So if we look at each of our marketing, whether it was just plain ad spend, which is the easy one to look at, or it was how many leads and referrals did I get from this networking group that I spent all of these hours and this money on to be at and spent, that's a lot of time. Like, to me, my time is very valuable. I make a lot of money. So my time is valuable. Is it worth me spending that time to make this return on an investment? And how many referrals came in and how many of those closed? Because if I got 1,000 referrals, but only 10 of them closed because the bulk of them were junk referrals, then is that a good place to spend my time? Or if I got 10 amazing referrals and my return on investment was 5x what I put in from a time and money perspective, then it's a great group, right? So today is the day that we look at everything we did and are doing and ask ourselves the real question: Is it worth my time and my money to be spending here in my marketing, right? Because in order to scale to meet our goals, I'm gonna be very real. Marketing is changing. If you're doing Facebook or Google ads, the algorithms are changing. The costs are going up. So where are we marketing? If you're in an industry that has industry specific marketing, what costs are associated? Are they going up? Are you getting quality leads? Are they mostly junk? Are you wasting your time? How much time are you spending? But let's look at what we're doing and cut before we grow. Cut what is wasting our time, cut what is not working or what is more expensive than the other areas, so that as we pour our resources, our time, our money, and our relational resources, where are we going to spend those so that we can actually meet our revenue goals, right? Cut, grow. If you learn nothing else today, please cut, grow, because I can double my revenue every single year or triple my revenue every single year. But if my expenses are tripling along with it, I'm not making as much money. So, and then the other thing is, when we get to the next level of revenue, what got us to where we are today is not what's going to get us to the next level. It's what got us to where we are today. And we're going to stay doing the same kind of, we're going to stay on the same kind of trajectory. If we want to escalate that trajectory, then we need to do something a little bit different. So how do I need to change? And a lot of times I'm going to eliminate some of the groups that I was in or some of the marketing places I was, because they're giving me not quality leads, in favor of where my quality leads are. For example, cut, grow. Okay. Level 2, you're mostly a solopreneur. Maybe you outsource some things, but you don't really have any W-2s working for you. You don't really have any people doing a lot of the work for you in your business. Everything falls on you. You're the one who's making all the decisions. Maybe you pay a fee for like SEO, website marketing, or whatever. I'm not talking about that, but you're a solo. It's you, yourself, me, myself, and I. This is who's bringing in the money. If this is you, and you are performing well and you're seeing growth in your business, but you want to escalate that growth, your biggest question is, who is my next hire? Because the reality is we can continue, but if we're a solopreneur and we're doing it all, there's only so much we can do. We will reach a maximum. And so before we're ready, we want to be asking ourselves, who is my next hire? How much am I going to pay them? How much are they of what they do is going to free my time as the entrepreneur? What will I be able to do with that time that is freed up, right? And how much money is that person going to make me by freeing that time? Those are the questions we ask. Even if you are a team already, the same questions every time. And we don't ask them when we're ready to hire. We ask them before we need to hire. If you're at 70% of your capacity or more, you already needed to bring somebody in. Once you get to that like 50% of your capacity, and that's when you start thinking about who's your next hire. So I think pretty much everybody here is kind of in that space. So whether you can afford a person or not, this is what we're going to do. We're going to write out all the things I do in marketing, all the things I do in sales, all the things I do in admin, all the things I do in client fulfillment. You're going to look at every single thing that you do to run your business if you're a solopreneur. And then you're going to ask yourself, which of these take up time that somebody I can hire can do? Okay. And then go through the sequence of questions that we just did. Who is my next hire? What time is going to free up? Because when if we're a solopreneur, and maybe we outsource some things, and maybe the question is, what am I outsourcing next? Or if you're cut growing, you're looking at all the things you're outsourcing and asking, can I bring in a FTE? And it'll actually be less costly than outsourcing to all these other places. I can just hire somebody to do my website and my marketing and sales internally because I have enough work now. Like, ask yourself those questions, because a lot of times outsourcing is actually more expensive if you're doing a lot in your growth phase than bringing it in-house. And that's for you and your industry to decide. But in order for us to continue to grow, we as entrepreneurs, our main role is, number one, relationship building. The more hands we shake, the more money we make. The deeper our relationships go, the more money we make, the better our connections and our referral partnerships. And I don't mean just passing referrals to people, but I mean monetizing those relationships. Hey, I'm going to bring you into this package that I have. You bring me into this package that I have. So we're making more money, and like, they're marketing for you and you're marketing for you. What can you do to monetize the relational capital that you have? When we start looking at those things and focus our time on that, our business can grow exponentially instead of just kind of in stages, the way that a lot of solos do. But the biggest question is, how can I work on my business instead of in my business? 70% of your time, relational capital, 20% of your time, developing your marketing. What's my next thing? Looking at my numbers, strategic thinking, where am I going, right? 10% of your time is going to be in the high level executive decision-making things. Am I making the decisions, coming up with a solution? And what is my speed of implementation? How am I delegating it? And how am I integrating with my team, right? So these are the stages. As we work on our business, we look at how much time on versus in. How can I work more on my business? Because that's going to generate more revenue. What are the activities that are steeping my time that I can give to somebody else? Stage number 3, I'm growing, but I'm kind of stuck. My business has been growing, but I'm tapped out. I physically feel like I'm doing all the things. I have no energy. I don't set good boundaries. Maybe I'm starting to see the law of diminishing returns. I'm doing more. And instead of it continuing to grow, it's kind of leveling off. The biggest problem for people who are stuck, or they're stuck at an income level and they can't get to the next level, is the people you surround yourself by. So, and I'm not just talking about your team as in staff. I'm talking about what rooms are you in? Whenever I get to a level, and I'm going to speak to me personally, and I'm also going to speak to a lot of my clients, whenever you get into rooms, if you're the smartest person in the room, if you're the most successful person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Whether it's socially, whether it's in business networking groups, whether it's in your industry, you want to be putting yourself in rooms where everyone in the room is smarter than you are, more successful than you are, so that you can learn. Because when people are here and you're like just entering in going, how the heck am I sitting at this table? You know you're in the right room, because you're going to learn and you're going to grow, and those people are going to hold you to that and allow you to learn and grow. I'm going to apologize if you guys hear vacuum. Please like wave at me and let me know, because the maids came at the wrong time. And I will move to outside. So just like interrupt me if it's loud. But for you, if you're stuck, or if you're kind of capped out, or you're really getting tired and you can't figure out how to get to next level, your job is to do an audit of all the people in your life. Your A's are you're always positive, always stretching you. You learn something every time you have an interaction with them. Your B's are people who are mostly positive, but maybe they've helped you get to where you are today as a person, but they're kind of where you were, 2 years ago. And when you're with them, you have to kind of dim your light, or, down level yourself. Those are B's. C's are neutral people. Half the time they're negative, half the time they're positive. Maybe they support you, but then they give you a little backhanded shade on the other side of things. We all know those people. D's are mostly negative people, or they're people who hold you back. Or, we all know the kind. Sometimes we have a team member and we're dragging them, hoping they'll come along for the ride and step it up. No, it's not the right person. Same thing with some of our business partners. Some of our friends are like that. Most of the time, our family, we have a family member who fits in that. You can't talk anything business, because all they're going to do is negative about what you're doing. Like, we all have those people in our life. Your job is to get rid of the C's and D's in your life. And I don't mean you need to whack them off. We're not going to do anything drastic, but what we're going to do is we're going to distance ourselves, and we're going to limit our time. Okay. We're going to set the boundary, and we're going to limit we are entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs need to spend time with other entrepreneurs. If we're spending a lot of time with W-2 employees, that doesn't help us, because entrepreneurship is hard. We need people who are in the arena with us and understand, who are also positive, right? So our A's and B's we're going to keep. The C's and D's, they no longer have access to us, because we need to put ourselves in a position where we can succeed, not just in business, but in life. And if people are, half the time, if they're neutral or negative, they're not helping us to become our best version of ourselves, which means we don't show up our best in our business. Okay. It's very, very hard to do this. But the other things you're going to do other than that is you're going to shock yourself and shock your system. When we are kind of hitting that kind of like slowed growth, or in any area of life, whether it's our health or our relationships or our business, we need to shock our system. We've gotten to a routine, and this is the I'm comfortable phase, right? This is the I'm comfortable in my business. I know my business is going to grow X percentage year over year. I know if I do these things, it's going to do this. And we kind of feel like, oh, I can sit back and kick my feet up. I'm comfortable where I am. This is the most dangerous phase of business. It is really dangerous because everyone below us is trying to take us down, right? Everybody wants our success who is behind us. And we'll never get above our level if we don't shake it up and make ourselves a little uncomfortable. Okay. And you don't have to believe me. Nobody has to take my word for it. But time and time again, this has been true. If we can shock our system, shake it up a little bit, be proactive and find something new, learn something new. Doesn't have to be in your business. Learn something new, pick up a new skill set, consciously find a way to make yourself uncomfortable, to kind of shock your system out of that complacency. You will immediately see, even if you do it in your health or in your life, you will immediately see an uptick in your business, because growth is in a discomfort. We want to hit acceleration in our scale. We want to hit acceleration in our business. We have to hit acceleration in our life. So what is it that you want to do to shake it up, to shock your system and say, okay, maybe it's switching your routine. You've had the same routine forever and ever, and you can do it in your sleep. This is very dangerous. Have you ever been in the car and driven somewhere and go, wait, I don't remember driving here? Yeah, that's complacency, and that's dangerous. I've been there. So find another route. Shake up your morning routine a little bit, do something a little bit different, but make a conscious effort to shake up your life a little bit. Okay, if you're in this stage where you're kind of growing, but you're a little complacent, the biggest thing you can do in 2022 to reach your goals, okay, is to double down. Pick 5 things that worked really, really well. 5 top relationships from last year that provided the most referrals or the most opportunities for you. Pick 5 things last year in your business that really were going well and double down on those. Double down on the top 5 relationships, double down on the top 5 things in your business. And this could be processes or systems, or this could be marketing, or this could be sales. This could be a product line, doesn't matter. But what are the 5 things that are working really well? Or maybe they need a little bit of tweaking to really optimize so they can work better, and double down on how am I going to make this faster, better, more efficient. If it's marketing, how am I going to get more leads? Like, what changes or tweaks am I going to do? If it's a group that you're part of, how am I going to show up in this group and get more referrals from that group? How am I going to go vertical on those 5 relationships and really, really get a deep relationship so that I can open up more opportunity for myself? 5 things to double down. Because when we double down and we focus, we see exponential growth. Okay, now I'm going to move to phase 4 in business. You had a record year. You far exceeded your goals and your profit margins. You were expecting $500,000 in profit or revenue, and you saw $1 million or whatever. You far exceeded what you expected, thought, or set your goal for. Congratulations. If that is you, that is fantastic. The person you are today, that got you to that level. You're good enough. You've got everything going. In order to get to the next level, you also need to shake up your routine, because what got you to here is not what's going to get you to the next level if you have a growth goal. How do you do this? You shadow people more successful than you. Find somebody in your industry to mentor. Ask to follow them around for a day. Trust me, it sounds weird. This is one of the secrets to my success. I literally reach out to people who are more successful in the industries that I'm in and ask them, what will it take for me to follow you around for a day or 2 days? Can I Zoom shadow you? Can I in-person shadow you? Can I just go into every meeting with you? I literally have done that. I've paid a lot of money to do that. So you may have to invest in order to do this, because a lot of people are their time is valuable, and it may not be money. It may be, hey, so like, I don't know you from Adam. Why would I do that? We may have to give something of value to them. It has to be a 2-way relationship. But find somebody in your industry that is where you want to be. More successful than you, better profit margin, better marketing, whatever, and ask to shadow them. And then find a couple of other people who are not in your industry and do the same thing. Why? Because if we always focus on our own industry, then we're in a box. And sometimes what happens in the financial industry can be applied to the legal industry, can be applied to the automotive industry, can be applied to real estate, can be applied to coaching, can be applied to healthcare. If we always only work within our industry, we miss out on all the gems that we could take from the other industries and implement in our business. That's going to give us an advanced USP and really drive the business forward, really get us noticed. The other thing is when we shadow people and we mentor with people who are successful and more successful or where we're going, right? But in other industries, it opens up a whole nother network, a whole other network that we don't have access to. And is this comfortable? No. And will they automatically say yes? No. But what it requires is for you to reach out. Number one, identify who those people are, identify which industries make the most sense because you don't know anything about it. Like I'm going to give you an example. I know nothing about tech. I shadowed somebody in the tech industry. I didn't know what the heck they were talking about. I had the phones open. I was Googling the words. I'm sitting in the meetings, listening, hearing how they negotiate completely differently because they are like super, like way smarter than me, right? But what I learned was a different style of negotiation that I could then take into my coaching business that allows me to close those people, right? And that elevated my game. So what industries that you don't know anything about that have some really successful people in there, can you go and say, hey, what can I do to shadow you? How can I go sit in on the deals? I want to hear your negotiation style. I want to see what you're doing behind the scenes. How are you able to manage 56 businesses or whatever it is that you have? What do I need to do to get in there because my time management isn't great, right? And see the things that they're doing. Because what you'll learn is what are the habits that they're doing that make them as successful as they are? What are they doing between meetings and between things that you can implement in your business? What kind of systems they have that is different than yours? What kind of support that they have that is different than yours? Because all of those things are going to help you get to the next level. Does this make sense? So we started with entrepreneurs. Even if we have successful businesses, sometimes we're entrepreneurs and we say all the things and we never follow through. I have been guilty about this in the past. Like totally, I had 6-figure revenue and I still was an entrepreneur because I was saying all the things and not following through. Where are you? Are you there? Are you solo and hoping to get to the next level? Are you stuck? Like you're growing, but it's kind of like not really, we need some flavor and some spice in there. Did you have a record year, like exceed all your goals? Like it doesn't matter where you are. There was a strategy for each of you in 2022. So what can apply to everyone is doubling down on the 5 relationships. I'd take relationships. So the growth in business is based off of how many relationships you have, period, end of story. Doubling down on the 5 top relationships that you have, and then set a list of 100 that you want to meet. Like I call it my dream team, my dream 100, whatever list. Write down 100 people that you don't know yet that you want to meet because it's going to benefit you in some way, either personally or professionally. Because something that's not really spoken about is when we develop ourselves personally, when we are the best human being that we are, in the best health, with, when we take care of that side of us, we always elevate in our business. When we get rid of limiting beliefs, personally, it applies to our business. We can't separate the two. So who is in your dream team of 100, personal or professional, doesn't matter, and set a plan to meet with X amount of them or to reach out. What is your reach out plan? And it's about persistence. It's about reaching out consistently, and you continually reach out to them on a weekly basis if you can, and you can automate this through email, your 100, a weekly basis until they say no. It's not over until they say no. I've had people that I've reached out to for 2 years this way and finally gotten to have an interview with them or gotten in the room with them or gotten the call or whatever I wanted. So it may sound like a lot. I totally automate that. But like they see your name, they see their name, and finally they're like, I want this person to just stop. And so then they say yes. And then like beautiful things happen because you were persistent and because like you gained that audience. All of a sudden they're like, what is this, right? And then when you come in and you position yourself well, all of a sudden you can develop a relationship that you never thought was possible with somebody who is much more successful than you in your space or whatever it is. Like I'm speaking to the business side of things. But I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't done some of those things. And I do. And what I'm doing is I'm shadowing people and I'm following people and I'm learning from people and I'm putting myself in the rooms. Everything we talked about today, those are things that I have done. Those are things that my clients have done. That's the secret to their success. So for 2022, your strategy, audit where you are, know your baseline, cut, grow. Cut, grow. Stop doing the things that are not making you money. Stop doing the things that are wasting you a lot of time. Cut, grow. And then think about which level you were when we were talking and give yourself an action plan based off of that. Those are kind of that's kind of the, in a nutshell, what I wanted to present today. Each of these workshops is a little bit different. We bring a little bit different content every time. I really think that it was appropriate to talk about where we were and understand what we're carrying forward and also what we're letting go. Because if we bring forth everything from 2021, we're not going to be efficient and effective, because if we keep adding, we end up with dead weight. So cut the dead weight. And then the other thing to do right now, if we didn't do it, you should have been doing it in November and December. But if you didn't already, look at each and every one of your systems and ask yourself, is this an up-to-date system? Has it changed how I did this? And take it one at a time. Take one system per week if you have to. And make sure that you're current and up to date, because when you bring on the next person, or you hire that VA or whoever you're hiring to pass off some of the things that you don't need to be doing in your business, you want to have that already down and up to date so that it's effective for them and it doesn't waste their time. So that's my content that I brought to the table. I'm going to open it up for laser coaching. If you have questions on the content, happy to answer any questions, happy to dive deeper. But as Paula said earlier, laser coaching is, where are you now and how can I support you best? If you share with me how I can support you best, this will be most impactful for you. Paula?
All right. So thank you, Jen, for dropping that content. And we have content like this every Monday at 8 a.m. in our CEO Mondays. You see that on all of our backgrounds. CEO Mondays is where we have content like this every Monday. So the link will be in the chat if you would like to join us there. But we're going to jump into laser coaching. And Michelle has her hand up. So we'll go with her first, and then we'll go to Miss Angel, because everyone will get free coaching today. So Michelle, how can we support you today?
So I heard about this 100 list because I'm a CEO Mondays and I worked on it, but now hearing it again, I feel like I really need to refine that. So how do you figure out who you want to be on your 100 list?
Right. Well, first you set the goal for the list. And is your goal for the list referral partners? Is your goal for the list in your industry, outside of your industry? What is the goal for your list first? And then your 100, I'll tell you, Oprah is on my 100 list. Like, it could be anybody. I had Dr. Phil on my 100 list at one time. I don't have him on my list anymore. I got to speak with him in front of a lot of people. So your 100 list, it can be anything from, I want to meet so-and-so in our community because I know they know all my ideal clients, all the way up to celebrities, up to whatever. Your 100 list is like your dream list of people, personally or professionally. So for myself, you guys know I have a television show and we have Odyssey Now, which is kind of like the Netflix of coaching. So it's very valuable to me to have high-end, high-value, high-net worth individuals. So like Elon Musk is on that list, because if I get an audience with Elon Musk and I can meet about it and write a blog about it or whatever, that increases my credibility. It helps me get more guests on my show. It helps me to leverage the Odyssey Now television format, and it grows my business. So it can be multi-purpose, because I also am fascinated by that man and I have no idea how he has the ideas and is able to execute some of the things like, hello, let's go colonize Mars. Okay. Like, how do you come up with that? So when you look at your list, think about what are the things that are most important to you. And then I have people who are local in my list that I just haven't met yet. Right? Like, I have a targeted couple of attorneys that I've never managed to get an audience with that are here in Texas. So that's kind of how I do my 100 list. Did that help?
It does help. Well, quick question. Is it something, the people that you want to meet, or is it people that you want to build a relationship, or both?
It's both.
It's like, okay.
It's both. Like, so, your top 5 list that we were doubling down on, they're people you already have relationships with that already refer to you. They're your 5 biggest supporters, if you will, in your business. But your 100 list, the whole purpose for your 100 list is to put you outside your comfort zone. Because what does it mean? It means cold outreach. It also gives you something to ask for. So when we network, sometimes people don't have a referral for us in groups that we're in, but we can ask, hey, who of you knows Paula Cook? I really have been wanting to meet her. And somebody might be able to connect you with her, right? So think about it because it gives you another, or you can say, hey, I'm hoping to meet, I don't know, pick a celebrity. I'm hoping to meet so-and-so. And you start talking about it organically with people. And by 7 degrees of separation, plus your persistence in reaching out, something's going to give. Does that make sense? It kind of gives you a place to point. Okay, Michelle, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Of all the other content, not just the list of 100, of all the other content, what is the one thing that you are going to put into play today, or that you're going to work on today?
Honestly, today, before this even happened, I was already thinking about our expenses and how to figure out how we can lower our expenses, because I feel like our expenses are really, really high with what we're bringing in right now.
Okay. And so cut, grow. And how are you going to chunk that down so that you can do this? Are you looking at all of them all together? Are you going to shop? Are you going to negotiate with your providers?
I honestly don't know if I can shop, because it's not, for us, it's a lot, I think. But I think in terms of, I don't know, bigger picture, it's not that much, but it's having to remove maybe some things.
Okay. So as you do that, I'm going to give you some steps. When you look at all your expenses, ask yourself, is this revenue generating? That's question number 1. Is this revenue generating? Question number 2, is this a requirement in order to do business? Not is it nice? Not is it, oh, I'm paying, $60 a month for QuickBooks. Like sometimes that we're not there yet, right? It's just a random example. I don't know. Like I'm not telling you to get rid of QuickBooks. It's just an example. But is it generating revenue, and is it required to basically open the doors and do business? And then if it meets both of those and you still are high and are needing to cut, you can always negotiate. You can always negotiate everything, your cellular service, your internet, your this, that, and the other. You can call them and say, hey, I see that you have this promotion for new clients. Can I get that new promotion? Like internet internet and cell service. I'm telling you, I negotiate that stuff all the time, because they're always giving all of these promos to new clients, but it's not applicable to us. So you can say, great. Well, I used to play the Comcast AT&T game. Every 6 months I would switch because I get the promos. And finally AT&T was like, well, why do you keep leaving and coming back? And I'm like, because I can get the promo. Like if you would just give me the promo and lock that in, you'd have a client and you'd never see me leave it. Guess what? I got the promo always. It's my rates have not gone up in 3 years. So, you just have to know how to negotiate those things. So you always have room for negotiation. The reality is we all need I don't think there's a single business on earth today that doesn't need internet to do business.
So then, quick question. One of the things that I have that can be cut, I kind of do. Well, I don't do it. I need it, but it's not a complete necessity. Like the cleaning of the office, I can do it myself, but I do it because I want to support my friend. Like, where's the line between wanting to support your friend and?
Right, and that's a great question, and it's a very tough question. The question I would ask is, number 1, truthfully, what am I doing with that time? What am I doing with that time? Because if you're going to go, I'm just using the cleaning example. If I'm going to clean, how much time does it cost? Okay. How much time does it cost me? And what could I be doing with that time? Right. So if you want to support, but we have to be real with ourselves too. If we literally don't have the dollars and cents, sometimes we have to look at it from that cost benefit analysis. Okay. Can I do cleanings less frequently and me just touch up? What is your time worth? Remember, we talked about what is your time worth? All the monies that you made, you generated, divide by 20/80, know your time value, because sometimes like I have not cleaned my own house in 15 years because my time is worth more.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know that by knowing your numbers. So find out your hours and ask yourself, how many hours will it take for you to clean in order to know the answer to that?
Do I divide my hours? Like, because it's Johnny and I, do I divide my hours in half? Like, do I divide our income in half?
Yeah, probably so, because you're both in
Okay.
it. Excuse me, just 1 second. Sorry, they want to come clean my room, but I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, but find out your time value. Then ask yourself, is this an expense that I can cut back on or cut out altogether? Or is there somebody else that can be doing this at the same level? And I understand the supporting your friends. I totally get that. But sometimes we have to make other decisions. I'm going to give you a classic example. I try to support a lot of our friends in marketing space, but the reality is the results weren't there. Business isn't personal.
Yeah.
Business isn't personal. And so I have to make the business decision because my business has to be viable. And if people are not getting me results, but I can go to somebody who's not in our local area and they get me 10 times the results all day long, I'm going to choose to use that other person because I'm getting 10 times the results. And unfortunately, when someone in our local area steps up their game to compete with that, then I will support local in that particular space, but we just don't have it here. And I've tried a lot. So you have to look at it from a business standpoint, and business is not personal. Did that answer your question?
Very much.
Okay. Yeah, and it may just be, it also might be a temporary pause. So, okay, Michelle. Angel, would you like some laser coaching today?
Yes, I would. Thank you. I'm at the one that I need to put the systems in, as far as I have systems for my real estate. If I get a listing, I do this. I have no business systems. So for you to ask for my numbers, it's a complete shit show. So what do you spend on marketing? I don't know. If I like it, I spend it. So it's like that kind of thing. So my goal is to get some kind of business systems in, and that's, kind of why I'm here, because I'm at the top of what I can do personally and not kill somebody. So I need some kind of systems, or why don't I have them? What do I need? What systems do I need? Apparently I need QuickBooks, because right now I just throw receipts in a shoebox and hand them to my husband. So I'm telling you, it's a shit show.
Okay, so first things first, do you have anybody who works with you or for you?
I have people that work for me, but they're independent contractors. They're not on my payroll or anything like that.
Like admin people or just other realtors?
Yeah, I have a transaction coordinator.
Okay.
I have 2 people that run my Airbnbs.
Okay.
And then I had an assistant, but I just fired her. So now I'm looking for another assistant.
Okay. What do you use your assistant for when you have one?
To do all the crap I don't want to do. And that's literally what I say when I hire them. So my days don't ever start out the same. So I wanted to try to get some kind of normalcy in them, because I feel like I get up, I step on the treadmill at speed 10.
Gotcha.
And it's just running from one thing to the other to put out fires, and it's very stressful. But that's real estate too. I understand it's part of the business, but it's still
right.
When
but
it's not crazy, I want
you're reactive.
Yes.
Yes, you're very reactive. So what we have to do is get proactive in your business. And that's what the systems are for. So if you have no systems on the business side, then we have to look at what system will make the most sense for you to start with, because we don't want to add all the systems. because
Right.
that'll just stress you out. But is there something that you do every single day that we can systemize? Like what are the transactional things that you're still doing?
I don't do any of the transactions. So I just, when I get something under contract, I just call my TC and say, hey, put this offer in for that. And she takes it from there.
Not for the real estate. So there's transactional and transformational activities in our business. Transactional is anything that, like, for example, I mean, collecting payments is one of them, but other transactional things is anything that falls under administrative duties, anything that we do on a regular basis that's not generating revenue or growing relationships is transactional. Transformational are things that are generating revenue, that are building new relationships, that are improving, making us faster, more effective, more efficient, solving problems for our clients, things that are transforming other people's lives.
So transactional, I usually have my assistant do it, but I literally just fired her. So because that stuff bores the crap out of me, and I'm not very good at sitting still for it. Like this whole hour sitting still is very hard. I'm in my car waiting to go. So she usually does that kind of stuff. And I'm all about, let's go meet people and build the relationships. So that's what my strength is, because I'd rather have my eyes gouged out than sit at a desk and do all that stuff.
And do you have somebody who does your marketing and everything for you?
I do. I have like several different people that do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Like I have, like I pay $700 a month for my Google optimization or whatever, that Google crap where they post stuff on your stuff. And then I have another girl that does the social media crap, because I don't have time for that. That's not an interest for me. So I have those two that I just outsource.
And the other way you get leads and acquisitions is networking groups and going out into the community.
Right. So I do BNI, I do Zeta, I do the worldwide. So I do all that stuff. And if there's meetings for realtors, because with my business, me recruiting realtors is a big thing too, because I get paid off of people that I recruit to EXP. So I'm always at any realtor event, any realtor class and stuff like that.
Okay. And so do you love doing all of those things personally?
I love doing that stuff. Yes.
Okay. What are you doing that you don't love?
I don't love setting up the appointments.
Okay.
I would like to hire somebody, and that's something that my assistant that I would have her do, is to call all these leads and just set up my appointments. I just want to go to my appointments.
Okay. So even when you had an assistant, were you calling and following up with them? Like setting the appointments?
No, because I just my first assistant got pregnant. So I lost her, and she was really good. She was doing all that stuff.
Gotcha.
And that was way back in May that she quit. And then I've been trying to find somebody who would actually work since then.
What are you paying them?
$15 an hour.
Okay. So we're in a labor market right now that you're only going to get crap at that pay point.
Okay.
So what you're looking for is a personal assistant, not just an admin assistant, because if you have somebody under the personal / executive assistant role, you're pay more, but they'll be able to handle some of the other BS stuff, even on the personal side, like to help you to get rid of some of that in your life, as well as like they could be handling some of your communications with your contractors, with your Airbnbs, and handling all that transactional stuff for you on the back end. But you're going to pay somebody $25 to $30 an hour if you want somebody good.
Okay.
In this labor market. So that's problem number one. So when you look at your business systems, but the other problem you have is you don't know any of your numbers, and you hand a box into somebody once a year.
Yep.
Okay. You have no idea how to tax optimize. So when we think about our accountant, is your husband your accountant?
Yep.
Is he a professional accountant by day?
No, he's an engineer.
No. No, 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 no. Okay.
No.
Before we do anything
Just
else.
time out. We just hired accountant to do last year, and that was in what, October or August or something, right when it was due. So because it's gotten out of control where I have all these Airbnbs, I have several LLCs, and it's something he just couldn't do it anymore. So we hired somebody there, but we haven't put any systems in place to figure out how to get it. So I did hire a bookkeeper, but I have to get that QuickBooks thing. And so she's going to take care of all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so you're doing things.
So I am doing things. I know that there's a problem. I just don't know how to fix stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I started out just a lowly agent, and then all of a sudden my life last year just exploded into, 4 LLCs. Airbnbs are bringing in, I've got 5 of them. They're bringing in 100,000 a year. My business as a realtor, I sold 5 million last year. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you said start at 70%. I'm already at 100%. I can't do anything else.
Right. So this is what is your job today or tomorrow or whenever you have time. You're going to write a stop doing list. You're going to write everything you do during the day and circle the things that you have got to stop doing and prioritize them. Okay. So it takes a little time to do this, but as you prioritize and you say, I've got to get this off of my books because it's taking this amount of time and you need to free up your space. So choose the biggest needle movers first and just start checking them off the list. Oh, I need that QuickBooks things. You might have hired the wrong damn bookkeeper. Excuse my French.
Yeah.
Hire a bookkeeper who's going to do that for you.
Okay. Well, I just told her I would do it. So
no,
I'm sure she'll do it for me. I said,
no, ma'am. That's like today. What's your first action step? You call your bookkeeper and say, I don't have time to set up all this stuff. I don't want to look at it. Set it up for me. What do you need from me? Go. And then, yeah. Make that phone call. Okay. Did she mute? Okay. And so, so that's first. Let your bookkeeper do that. Give her permission to talk to your CPA. Next, your CPA has to be a strategist. If your CPA only does taxes, you're not in the right place.
I do have a financial coach.
Who's a CPA?
So I do have,
who's a CPA who can help you with tax strategy and everything?
No, the financial coach is the one who had me hire the CPA because his face was just about like your face when I told him about the shoebox.
Yeah.
So, because I make a butt ton of money, but I don't know where it is. I don't know where it goes. I just spend it all because that's my job. My husband makes it. I spend it. That's been our job for years. And now that I'm making money, I have to figure out where it goes.
Okay. Yeah. So call your bookkeeper, get that on track. And what you as the CEO of all your businesses needs to do is you need a report on a monthly basis. We'll start with monthly. Okay. And you get your P&L, profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, which shows you where all your money is coming and going, and you're not going to know what you're looking at, and that's okay. Your financial coach can sit down with you, or I can sit down with you, and we can show you how to look at the numbers and know how to cut, where you can cut, where your money's going, how to expand, like basic business fundamentals is knowing your numbers. We're going to do that.
I hear that all the time. So now I'm trying to get numbers.
Yeah. So, but it's not just your financials.
Okay.
All the people you have piecemeal doing all the different things for your marketing should be able to provide you a report with all of the statistics in your marketing. And what you want is, what is my cost per lead? What is my cost per client acquisition? Like looking at the clicks, you want the numbers. And if your marketing professional cannot provide that to you, you are with the wrong person.
Okay.
They don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
Okay. So while you get your financial set, the next numbers you set is all your marketing numbers. Hey, I need my statistics. Get them from your web guy or girl. What does that look like? Get them from your Facebook people, Because if they're not making you money, or their leads are junk, or your cost per acquisition is high, you're with the wrong person.
Okay.
And if they tell you, I don't know that, run far the freak away, find somebody else. Because that is their business. And no marketer can grow your business if they can't provide you those basic numbers. Okay.
Okay.
So cost per lead, cost per acquisition, cost per click is something they like to give you, but cost per lead and cost per acquisition are the two that you want to know most.
Okay.
That way, you know that what you're paying is actually bringing you money.
Right. Right.
Okay. And so that's part of your numbers. So as a CEO of our business, we went into numbers a lot, a couple of weeks ago in CEO Mondays. I'll have to figure out which week that was, but we do this a lot. What you're going to do is you're going to compile all your data, and then you're going to start to just look at it on a regular basis to look for trends, because I don't have time. Like, I have 7 businesses too. I understand. Like, I don't have the time to do all of the things, but I do look at my trends. And then if a trend is going in the wrong direction, then I dive into the detailed numbers, because as CEOs, we have to take what our financial people look at, our marketing people, our sales conversions. And so our sales conversion is basically everybody who came in the door, and then how many of them became clients.
Okay.
So if you had 150 people in December reach out to you about real estate, but only one of them became client, that's a crap conversion rate.
Right. Right.
Right. So we need to know our conversions, because when we look at all the numbers and we decide how we're going to do our systems, we need to know our baseline. Okay. So your start, get your financials, get your financial numbers, ask for a P&L. It may take your bookkeeper a little bit of time to catch up, but ask for it as soon as possible. And as soon as you've got that, we can sit down and your marketing, just collect the data right now and set the expectation that you want the data on a monthly basis. You want a monthly report, so that we can start. We need a baseline. We need to know where you are, because once we know where you are, we have an established baseline. We can start to go into the systems from there. And then you're so that's your numbers. And the other is the stop doing list, and the things that you need to stop doing. We're going to set up a system at a time based off of the one that's going to free the most time and energy for Angel.
Okay.
Okay. Because we have to. You're a multipreneur. You've got too many streams of revenue. You don't need to be wasting time.
Okay.
Okay. And then, the other is pay your assistant, because right now you get what you pay for.
Right. Right. Okay.
So
I understand.
Yeah, I would put it out. I would ask for an executive assistant, not just like an admin. You're looking for an executive assistant who can.
Well, when I get an executive assistant, then the problem with that is sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. We might have to go dig a sewer. We had to dig up a septic one day because when the Airbnbs went out, and so we went and dug up a septic. So those girls won't do that. There's a special type of girl who will do both, and that's what I'm struggling with.
So, but that's not an everyday thing. That's something you can even hire a subcontractor for and just sub that out, because as you grow, if you've got 100K in, is that top line revenue or is that profit in your Airbnbs? 100K?
No, that's just top line.
Okay. So we need to know what your bottom line is, because if we know your bottom line, then we can answer what kind of things go into this. But for me, if that happens, that would be hey, executive assistant, call so-and-so, set it up, have them out to fix the septic system.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's a struggle with me, and that might be a personal thing, because they tell me how much it's going to cost. And I'm like, bullshit, I can dig it. But you're 10 out of 10 overwhelmed. Right. No, you're right.
You're 10 out of 10 overwhelmed. Angel, you're going to drop dead if you stay at 10 out of 10.
Okay. You're right.
Okay. You're going to we have to let go of control. And yes, you're going to spend some money, but you're making a lot of money. You guys make a lot of money. You've got a lot of things going on. If I asked that same question and did that, we would never get anything done. And it's actually limiting you and holding you back, because what happens when Angel is no longer always stressed out and always running by the seat of her pants? is her stress level goes down. And as your stress level goes down, your health goes up. And not only that, your ability to make quick decisions and the ability to draw together things goes up. So what is your time worth? I'm gonna, like I said this to Michelle, I want you to do this. I want you to take your top line revenue from
Right.
everything you did last year, your top line revenue, and divide it by 2080. And that's what your time is worth.
Okay. That's the thing is, it's some of these people, I'm like, you don't even have a college degree and you're making more than I make if I hire you. So I'm just like, well, I'll do it. So that's my problem that I have to deal with is
but it's also the supplies. It's also the parts or supplies. It's the labor. It's the frustration.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right.
It's not worth, I'm just gonna tell you, you don't have to believe me.
No, you're right. I know you're right. My husband's been telling me this, for a while, but I don't mind delegating. It's just, I don't like paying for that. I grew up super poor.
That is a limiting belief, my dear. And that is something that coaching can help you with.
Okay.
That is something that coaching can help you with. And if you have a financial coach and they're not working through that money mindset belief, then that's a direction you need to go. Or you contact us and we'll work with you on your limiting beliefs. Like that is a coaching situation.
Okay.
And let me tell you, you are a freaking rock star.
Mm-hmm.
You're a rock star. And you deserve to spend money on those things. Like you deserve to hire a subcontractor to handle the septic issue.
Right. Okay.
Because what's happening is you're so overwhelmed. Imagine if you weren't doing all of those nitpicky little things, where you would be today, how much more money you would have made if you weren't messing around doing all that.
Right. You're right.
And Angel, health is wealth. It's 2022. The big thing that we are focusing on, the universe is focusing on, is health. And you can make all this money, you could keep it and not pay people. And like Jen said, you fall dead tomorrow and you're not here to spend it or enjoy it. That has been your job to spend it. We want you to keep being able to do that. I really, man, you are in the right place, because being the CEO of your business and life is going to take your whole life and your business to a whole nother level. What we see in our clients on a regular, and you are the quintessential client for us, because we see this every day. If your life is not in order, then your business is not in order. If your business is not in order, then your life is not in order. So that's why we don't just say we're business coaches. We are business and life, because they go together. And we are here for you. I literally was writing down, oh my God, like she needs us. She would be great for business and life coaching. And we do, as Jen said, we offer that. We want you to join us on CEO Mondays. You got to take some time out for Angel. Angel is overwhelmed, and we see it in your face. We hear it in your voice, and oh my God, that's what Jen, it's pouring out to you. So congratulations on what you have achieved. But lady, it is time to put self first and be the CEO. Take charge of Angel and get Angel back to where Angel needs to be, so that business can grow even more. Because you're level 4, honey, you are up there, but you are not going to be here to enjoy it, and it's not going to go further if you don't make Angel first. And we see that is blaring. Me and both our life coach, we have Wellness Wednesdays too. We have so many things, and we want to help you. You are amazing, and we are excited that you showed up today, because it is 2022 and we're ready to partner with you to have a great year in your life. First, we care about you. Your business is great, but we care about you. And so we invite you to sign up with us and let us help you in the coaching realm. You have a financial coach, but a person of your stature with the type of business. Jen has 6 business coaches. I have 2. Lindsay has 1. Michelle has on the call. She has 1. It's okay to have several coaches to help in all areas of your life.
Okay. No, I appreciate that.
Yes.
Say something. The whole reason I've been waiting here this whole time was because I wanted to tell Angel, I use Jen and Paula as my coach personally. I just started with them. I cannot tell you the amount of value the amount of value that I've gotten from the one session that I've done with them. And I've learned so much that I didn't know that I was doing. I'm like you, I'm ready to shit show. Like,
Right.
seriously. But
I
it's
literally have a
successful.
hat that says ringmaster of the shit show.
Yeah, but it's successful. Like you are super successful. And you getting your numbers together and getting everything right, getting with Jen and Paula, Angel, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine where you'll go and the amount of peace you'll have in your life and everything. Like, I know you care so much about your children and being able to spend more time with them. You need to get with Jen and Paula. Like, seriously.
No, I agree.
Thank you. So Angel, we will get you the information to get with us and so you can move forward how you see fit. We thank each of you, Michelle and Angel, for showing up for your business today. We are excited to be here. Like we said, we have CEO Mondays, we have strategy sessions, we have one-on-one coaching options to help you and partner with you in being successful in 2022. And we thank you on behalf of Jen Gaudet Coaching Services for joining us today. This does bring us to the end of our workshop. And as you can tell, we were supposed to end at 12, but because we care and because we see what, we want to help, we gave that extra time. And that is what we do in our company because we really, really care about people in the community and small businesses and big businesses. Like, girl, you were doing it. You're like a corporation all in yourself. So we are excited to be able to partner and take you to a much higher level of success and health is wealth. So we are going to be on Wednesday with Wellness Wednesday because we are walking our talk and we are on success to have our health be number one priority this year. So we would love for you to join us in that journey. And Jen, any final comments?
I just want to say, Angel, we see you. I feel you because I've been there. And if you don't have support, we are here for you. Just reach out. We can get that going. But the reality is that you deserve to have the support that you need. And that's a belief too, just like the limiting money mindset belief, but it comes down to, you deserve it. You deserve to have the support you need. You deserve to have the team you need, and you deserve to not be doing all the things yourself. And so I actually get to see you on Thursday. On Thursday, drop me a little message and say, how you were able to move forward or what you were able to move forward with.
All right.
And we can follow up. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for showing up. And Michelle, thank you for showing up too. We appreciate you. And thank you for those kind words. I mean, we love working with you ladies because that's what fuels me. Like, I don't need to coach. we don't have to do this. We do it because it's our passion. And because when we elevate business owners, literally the ripple effect is in our families, our communities, and our world. And that's really what we're about. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for doing the work, because we can only lead a horse to water, but it's you that has to do the work, and you have done the work. And I can't wait to see how successful you are as you continue to do the work.
All right. Thanks, girl. I appreciate it.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. See y'all soon.
Bye, Michelle.